Just 2 weeks ago, a young man came to us. He is 30 years old. He complained of fatigue, noise in his head, and tiredness, so I decided to perform a capillaroscopy on him. This is a test that shows the condition of the smallest blood vessels, the capillaries, which provide nutrition to the cells. And what did we see? His capillaries were in spasm. Just imagine, a 30-year-old already has disrupted cell nutrition and the beginnings of microcirculation failure. Yet on the outside, he seems active and young. He works. He's not just lying on the couch. But if he hadn't come in, all of this would have quietly continued inside his body, and eventually it could have led to a stroke or a heart attack, and without any warning. It might seem like this is a rare case, but in reality, more than half of deaths are caused by vascular and heart diseases. And this is especially true for people over 30. Friends, in this video, I want to tell you about the less obvious reasons. Why do blood vessels get blocked and plaques form? I'll also tell you how to start naturally cleansing your cardiovascular system with the help of simple exercises and foods. If you watch this video until the end, you'll know exactly how to protect yourself from serious diseases. You've probably heard the word atherosclerosis before. This is a condition where the walls of your blood vessels get covered with sticky, dense plaques. You can compare them to lime scale in an old kettle. But unlike a kettle, we can't just pour in some cleaner and wash everything away. Plaques form when the inner lining of a blood vessel gets damaged. And there's a reason why it gets damaged. Look, if you're constantly living under stress, and a lot of people are, your body stays tense all the time. Your adrenal glands start releasing a lot of cortisol, your blood vessels constrict, and your blood pressure spikes. If this goes on not just for a day or two, but regularly for months or even years, tiny cracks and microdamage appear on the vessel walls. Capillaries lose their flexibility, blood doesn't flow as well, and cell nutrition gets disrupted. Plus, cholesterol metabolism gets disrupted. Cholesterol sticks to the vessel wall like a patch, protecting it from damage. The adrenal glands keep working nonstop this whole time, and eventually they just give out. The body can't handle it anymore, and more serious problems start to develop. That's why you need to get rid of stress in your life. Another reason I see in most patients is poor sleep. When you don't sleep well, the production of a very important hormone, melatonin, gets disrupted, a hormone that plays a key role in restoring blood vessels. It protects them from oxidation, helps cleanse them, and prevents plaque from forming. If you don't get enough sleep, cortisol starts to rise because your body is under stress, which increases inflammation and speeds up damage to the vessel walls. I give my patients a very effective tip to improve sleep quality. It's to take a 15-minute walk before bed. Walking puts the brain into a kind of trance, so you fall asleep faster and your sleep is much deeper. This helps your body produce more growth hormone and melatonin and also protects your blood vessels. Be sure to like this if you also walk before bed. Also, inflammation caused by obesity and insulin resistance leads to plaque forming on the walls of blood vessels, especially if your diet is high in sugar, unhealthy fats, fast food, and very little fiber. If you do nothing and just wait, eventually your blood vessels become stiff and narrow, and blood no longer flows the way it should. At first, this might seem trivial, but you may start forgetting why you walked into a room, feeling cold even at home, or your fingers might start going numb. But these are the first signs, and I urge you to pay attention to them, because over time, other symptoms will start to appear, like sudden changes in blood pressure, the development of hypertension, and disrupted nutrition to the heart and brain. In fact, all of this leads to very serious and dangerous conditions, such as an increased risk of stroke or heart attack. The most dangerous thing is that atherosclerosis doesn't hurt. It just quietly builds up over the years. You can live, work, go about your daily life, and not even realize that your blood vessels are almost no longer functioning. Now, I want to share a few important steps with you that can really improve the condition of your blood vessels and help stop your health from getting worse. As I mentioned before, stress is one of the main causes of plaque formation. You can't just ignore it. And I found studies showing that people with high levels of anxiety are 45% more likely to die from cardiovascular diseases. So the first thing we're going to do is eliminate sources of stress from our lives. We try to limit our worries, concerns, and problems. Instead, focus on the joys of life and its good moments. Not many people know this, but half of the cholesterol in the body is produced by the liver and processed by the intestines. If your gastrointestinal tract isn't working properly, then excess cholesterol doesn't actually leave the body, but instead settles in your blood vessels. That's why I recommend paying attention to the foods you eat. Add flax seeds, berries, whole grains, and oatmeal to your diet. They're all rich in fiber, which helps lower bad cholesterol. Also, eat more broccoli, sauerkraut, and artichokes because they support your gut microflora and liver function. And of course, don't forget about fatty fish, olive oil, and walnuts. These are all sources of omega-3s and antioxidants, and they'll help reduce systemic inflammation and protect your blood vessels from damage. Which of these foods will you add to your diet first? Share your answer in the comments. On my channel, I always say that physical activity is one of the best helpers. It's literally like a brush for cleaning your blood vessels. And now I want to show you a very effective routine that I use myself. So get up and follow along with me right now. The first exercise. Stand with your back against the wall, pressing your head, shoulder blades, glutes, and heels to it. Place your hands with your palms against the wall and slowly move your hands up above your head and then lower them down. Repeat this 15 to 20 times. This exercise relieves tension in the neck and shoulder area, improves blood flow through the capillaries from the head, which means your brain will get better nourishment too. This helps prevent stroke symptoms. Do it slowly, without rushing. Raise your arms up and slowly lower them down, repeating 15 to 20 times. After you finish this exercise, stand sideways to the wall and start slowly swinging your leg back and forth. It's very important that the movements are smooth, as this helps improve microcirculation in the lower limbs. It's not for nothing that the leg muscles are called the second heart. They help the blood flow actively throughout the body, stimulating the work of the blood vessels. We did it 15 times with one leg and 15 times with the other. After that, we move on to the thoracic area. The movement goes like this: forward, backward, forward, backward. The thoracic region is also the emotional center. This exercise is great for relieving stress and bring your overall state into better harmony. At the same time, cortisol levels will go down because when you're stressed or anxious, it's elevated and negatively affects your blood vessels. This exercise will help lower cortisol and improve the overall condition of both your body and, of course, your blood vessels. The next exercise is a very powerful isometric exercise that will help relieve tension in the deep stabilizer muscles. For this, we'll need a towel. We stand with our feet wider than shoulder width apart and squat down. Take a towel and squeeze it above your head. Hold this position for 30 seconds to 1 minute. This isometric exercise will cause the tense muscles to contract even more, and after you relax, the muscles will reflexively enter a relaxation phase. Repeat this exercise 2 or 3 times, holding for 30 seconds to a minute each time. This exercise relieves spasms in very large muscles that, when tense, disrupt microcirculation in the capillaries and deep blood vessels. When this spasm is relieved, blood flow is restored and cell renewal resumes as well. And we finish with an exercise called vibration. We improve microcirculation in the upper and lower limbs, especially in the smallest capillaries. Lie on your back, lift your legs and arms up, and start shaking them. This exercise will help with venous congestion. Capillary congestion will disappear, and blood flow will also be restored. Do this for 1 minute and repeat it 3 times. And make sure to add some cardio as well. I recommend Nordic walking with poles, but not faster than 6 kilometers per hour. By the way, I found a study where the American Heart Association confirms that regular walking reduces the risk of stroke and heart attack by as much as 40%. There's another effective way to help your cardiovascular system, which I want to tell you about now. We're going to talk about cupping. The vacuum created by the cups really improves lymph flow. After a course of cupping therapy, people feel a surge of energy, less muscle pain, and reduced anxiety and stress. And all of this happens because of improved capillary and vascular blood flow. And, of course, before the procedure, I recommend that you consult with your primary care doctor. If you regularly eat sugar, love fast food, don't move much, and sleep less than 7 hours a day, then as a doctor I have to tell you, all of this together puts a lot of strain on your blood vessels. Be sure to pay attention to this, not just your diet, but also your sleep, physical activity, and stress levels. It's no coincidence that at anti-aging medicine conferences, which I regularly attend, they discuss how genetics only affects our health by about 10%, while 90% is determined by our lifestyle, which we can control. Be sure to share this video with your loved ones because heart attacks and strokes are very dangerous and often come unexpectedly. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get useful information on how to maintain your health in a timely manner. And I'm preparing very useful content especially for you, which has already helped a large number of people and continues to receive words of gratitude. And this was Dr. Dlin. Take care of your blood vessels. See you next time.